Chinese people divided ahead of Trump-Xi summit in Beijing. Residents in Beijing shared mixed opinions ahead of the upcoming meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Tehran threatens to accelerate nuclear weapon program after Trump rejects GAR. Notifications can be managed in browser preferences. Iran has threatened to accelerate its nuclear weapon program after Donald Trump lashed out at its garbage response to a U.S. peace proposal. Tehran could enrich uranium up to 90% purity, a level considered weapons grade, if the country is attacked once more, a top parliamentary official, Ebrahim Rizai, said on Tuesday. One of Iran's options in the event of another attack could be 90% enrichment. We will review it in the parliament, he posted on X. It follows reports in CNN that Donald Trump is considering new military strikes on the country, as he grows impatient with the continued closure of the Strait of Hormuz and feels a division in the Iranian leadership is obstructing progress towards a deal. Several officials now doubt whether Tehran is willing to adopt a NATO allies' wargame tests response to Russia and to U.S. support. A wargame scenario by NATO allies involves Sweden facing a threat in Ukraine on hand to advise on drone warfare. Gotland, Sweden. The wargame scenario was this: one of NATO's newest members, Sweden, was under threat by an unnamed country that was building up troops along the military alliance's eastern border. And in an unusual twist, non-NATO member Ukraine was there to advise on drone warfare. The Associated Press was allowed to witness the Swedish-led military exercise this week as Europe faces not only the threat of Russia but the wavering of NATO's most powerful member, the United States. The wargame that also involved U.S. forces played out with a real threat in mind. For months, Russia has ramped up sabotage, including cyber attacks against critical infrastructure and disinformation against countries across Europe, as detailed by an AP investigation. The wargame. Pakistan scrambles to salvage U.S.-Iran diplomacy as ceasefire faces collapse. Islamabad, Pakistan has rejected allegations that it had sheltered Iranian military aircraft from potential United States strikes as the fragile ceasefire it helped broker between Washington and Tehran appears increasingly at risk. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement on Tuesday came hours after U.S. President Donald Trump said the month-old truce was on massive life support as he dismissed Iran's latest peace proposal as a piece of garbage that he had not even finished reading. Trump's remarks followed a report by CBS News on Monday saying Iran had moved several military aircraft, including an RC-130 reconnaissance plane, to Pakistan Air Force Base Nur Khan near Rawalpindi after the April 8 ceasefire, potentially shielding them from U.S. attacks. Pakistan's foreign ministry on Tuesday called the report misleading and sensationalized, saying the aircraft had arrived as part of Iranians concerned about war extending as Iran and U.S. fail to find common ground. As Donald Trump rejects Iran's counter-proposals, Tehran has reacted saying that the Iranian government doesn't care if the United States aren't happy with the proposals. The United States had agreed to lifting such sanctions and freeing funds, but it first wants Iran to halt uranium enrichment and hand over its stocks. Residents in the capital are concerned about the war extending despite the current ceasefire.